Welcome back to Football Daily, everybody. Today, we need to talk about the world's highest paid footballers. Alright then, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's video, as Christopher Hamill would say, we're trying out a new thing. We want you guys at home to comment below on each of the Football Daily videos, you know, top 10s, transfer talks, explains, we need to talks, and then the presenters of Sunday Vibes are going to pick our favourite comments to discuss at the end of each week's show. We want to get you guys involved as possible from the YouTube community. So leave a comment on this video that you want us to talk about on Sunday Vibes. We might pick the most liked one if it's not too rogue, or we might just pick one that we thought was pretty exceptional. Hope that makes sense. Leave your comments, and while you're down there, please hit the like button, because you know it actually boosts us up the algorithm, doesn't it? I'm not going to fuck about. Right then, I haven't done one of these article reaction videos in quite some time, but you know, 2 or 3 people, I think it was one guy, actually sent me this article during the week on Twitter and said react to it. Is the 10 highest paid footballers in Europe, I think, at the moment. Basically, I looked through all the sources. There was Give Me Sport articles, there was Marca articles, there was Sun articles, Daily Mail articles, and they all seem to point back to one Radio Times article. Now, I'm not sure when the UK Radio Times became the font of all football financial knowledge, but they're trying their best. So I've got the article up in front of me here, the top 10 highest paid football players in the world for 2021. Who earns the most? The Radio Times say. Well, I don't know how you know Radio Times, but I'm trusting you. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to have to trust Alex Harris and Michael Potts. I wonder if that was Paul Potts' brother or relative. Who is he? Michael Potts, the sport editor. Michael covers every major sporting event from the Premier League to European football, Formula 1 to tennis and boxing. This guy must know his sports. Watching Sunderland AFC plunge to new depths firsthand. He might know Doogie. Michael Potts, he might know Doogie. I'm not saying all Sunderland fans know each other, but it's a dwindling pool. Anyway, let's crack on, because it says here, the Radio Times examines the top 10 highest paid footballers in the world. We've based our figures on reports from L'Equipe, Forbes, and a variety of official sources to boost our accuracy. The Radio Times are not messing about. Have to say anyway, just before I do read out the footballers, I'm more of a TV guide man. I'm not paying $3.49 for the Radio Times when you get the TV guide 49p, and that's got a better crossword. TV Choice. It's TV Choice, I buy. Where's the front cover of it? I'm a TV Choice man. David Platt. He's causing trouble again, is he? No surprise there. I hate this bloke, Todd, from Coronation Street. Shout out all the Coronation Street viewers. Any specific Coronation Street comments that are left are likely to get picked for Sunday Vibes. I'm going to say it now. The Seat. Has anybody watched it? I'm digressing here, aren't I? I'm digressing. Let's move on. Back to the top 10. All right, then. I haven't read this article yet. I've tried to do it as a blind reaction. But I have just seen the number 10 is Robert Lewandowski. He's earning 350 grand a week. Now, I'm presuming this is after tax? Is this before tax? All figures mentioned are before tax. Read the article, Joe. Just read it. All right. Robert Lewandowski, anyway, 350 grand a week. Do I think Robert Lewandowski deserves £350,000 a week? That's a big fat yes. I think that could be potentially an underpayment, if anything. The guy is scoring 40 goals a season in the Bundesliga. He scored 41 goals at 32 years of age in a top European league. If he didn't have that injury whilst on international duty with Poland, I do believe that Bayern would have gone a lot further in the Champions League and probably won it. He's that important to them. £350,000. He earns every single bit of it. And he's a big draw on TikTok, apparently. 3.9 million TikTok followers. I want to see what his TikTok's saying. Give me a second. Get him out of the top 10. Get him out of the top 10. Fucking hell. They're not all like this, are they? They're surely not all like this. Get him to the MLS. Get him to the fucking MLS. I'm not having that. Best striker in the world. Imagine if Roy Keane saw that. Jesus Christ. Jesus. My eyes are itching now. That's sickening. Number 9, we've got David De Gea. Now is David De Gea on 375 grand a week. Number 9 in the world's highest paid footballers is on 375 grand a week. Wow. Not even guaranteed number 1 at the club. Dean Henderson, I actually think probably would have started the season if he hadn't have picked up COVID when he did at that really awkward time, because he had a pretty much full pre-season with Manchester United after suffering that groin injury that kept him out of the Euros. David De Gea went a bit deeper at Euro 2020. So I think Dean Henderson might have been our starting keeper, which means a backup would be on 375 grand a week. When's his contract up, David De Gea? His contract's up in 2023, so we've got 2 years left of his contract on basically nearly 400 grand a week. I think that is monumental, man. That's so much money. However, when we gave him the contract, he probably was in the top 3 goalkeepers in the world, wasn't he? Coming off the back of that sort of 2017 that was quite frankly absurd, where he turned into an octopus. And at least he doesn't have a TikTok like Lewandowski. So 25 grand a week to not have to see him do those dances, I'm happy with. 375 grand a week, though, I think is an overpayment by a considerable amount. One of the best goalkeepers in the world for a concerted period of time between sort of like 2012 to 2017. I think he made pretty much every PFA Premier League Team of the Year in that time. But right now, in this moment, I think he's worth significantly less. Kevin De Bruyne comes in at 8 then, earning 385 grand a week, and I think he's worth every single penny. The best central midfielder / attacking midfielder in world football. Yes, I do rank him higher than Bruno Fernandes, even though I do believe Bruno Fernandes is a better goal scorer than him. I think as an all-round footballer, KDB is the best midfielder in the world and deserves to be the highest earner in the Premier League. I'm presuming there's nobody more than KDB in the Premier League, right? He has to be the highest earner. Best footballer in the league, 100% nailed on. And no off-the-field TikToks, no off-the-field cringe Twitter accounts. This guy pretty much goes under the radar, doesn't he, in his off-the-field activities. But when he steps over the white line, it's an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. We're talking over 3 chances created every single time he steps on the pitch. Incredible volume of assists. Incredible volume of key passes. I did see a statistic that he's only averaging 82% across his Premier League career in terms of pass accuracy. So for everybody that hammers Bruno for only having 80%, KDB's only putting up 2% more. It's because they're such risk takers with their balls into the box and creativity around the area that they have such low pass accuracies. KDB's putting up 3 or 4 chances a game. Forgive the 18% for f***'s sake. He's worth 385k. Now, I did see it a minute ago, but we know 7 is Kylian Mbappe. 410 grand a week. We are flying in figures here now. I didn't realise he was on that much. 410 grand a week. He's only 22. If he does sign a new contract extension, it's going to be for more money. We're going to be talking $500,000 a week, maybe upwards of $500,000 a week, which is quite frankly terrifying. And I understand he's a huge commercial draw for PSG, probably is the best young player in the world. But if he goes to Madrid, they're going to have to be offering him 600 grand. If he stays at PSG, he's going to be on 600 grand. It's frightening figures. It is genuinely frightening figures. At 22, there's no way Lionel Messi was earning close to 410 grand a week. And I understand that because of inflation, that's what a current modern footballer is earning. But that bubble has got to burst, man. 410 grand a week. Wow. And if Real Madrid do buy him over the next 7 days, you better believe Football Daily's coverage is going to be insane. He's going to be on every title. Kylian Mbappe to Madrid, 150 million euros. God, it's probably going to happen, isn't it? Christ. Oh, I didn't say whether I thought he was worth it. Yeah, he is worth 410 grand a week, though. Just because if you can keep him at your club long term, then you've got the future Ballon d'Or winner, the future best player in the world at your club locked down. PSG haven't been able to do that, but at £500,000 a week for the best player in the world for the next 5 years, it's probably worth it. All right, next up, we've got Gareth Bale. £500,000 a week. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money. Now, I knew he was earning huge amounts. I thought it was more like 400, but they've gone down the 500 grand a week angle, which is horrible. Obviously, the contract was given to him when he was a totally different player. Not that he fell off a cliff, but injuries significantly hampered him. His attitude off the field felt like he wasn't that keen to play for Real Madrid. I remember him falling asleep on the substitute bench at one stage. Really fell out of favour under Zinedine Zidane quite badly. Then he went on that loan to Tottenham, which people have hammered him for. But I think he got 14 goal involvements in the league. He certainly scored 11 goals in 10 starts in the Premier League for Tottenham, which is a lot more than some loan signings are going to get you, but should get you. For £500,000 a week. I'm not denying that. And I don't think he's worth anywhere near £500,000 a week. Whoever picks him up as a free transfer at the end of this season, I reckon he's going to be earning maximum 150 grand a week. Like, there's no way he's going to be able to demand 200 grand a week. Surely, Gareth Bale. Surely. I know he's a huge commercial pull as well with that Adidas contract. I reckon he ends up playing back at Tottenham on about 120 grand a week. Clip that out, because, you know, if that comes true in a year's time, somebody send it to me. At 5, we've got Antoine Griezmann. £575,000 per week. Wow, that stinks. And this is one of the reasons that Lionel Messi's had to leave the camp now. I wasn't totally in agreement with the Barcelona fans that booed Antoine Griezmann on his way into La Masia the other day because, you know, he hadn't taken a 90% pay cut or whatever the hell these fans wanted all their players to take so they could keep Lionel Messi. I've got no problem with him not taking a massive wage cut. He was given that contract in the first place by a board that was totally inept. You can't ask everybody just to be taking 80% wage cuts. It's unacceptable. However, the most embarrassing thing about this whole £575,000 a week contract remains La Decision. Do you remember that? When he left Atletico Madrid to sign this deal and did that cringe, like, I'm leaving, and then he didn't leave, and then he left a season later. How embarrassing. Why did Barca give him a 575 grand a week contract as well? I mean, it feels like at that stage, like they were literally just giving money away, weren't they? £575,000 a week. There's no way Griezmann was earning even 300 grand a week at Atleti, surely. I'm going to see what his wage was at Atletico Madrid. All right, I couldn't find too many reliable sources, so I'm on the Daily Express, and they're saying he takes home €385,000 a week at Atletico Madrid. I mean, that is nuts. €385,000 a week is much more than I thought he would be earning, but it's still not enough to make Bartomeu double that wage. Surely he could have just said, well, we'll give you an extra 50 grand a week. Like, how has that come out as double the wage he was earning at Atletico? Barca were getting rinsed, weren't they? F***ing hell. No, he's not worth the £575,000 per week, in my opinion. Nowhere near. They also say here, he famously celebrated a goal in the 2018 World Cup final by performing Fortnite's Take the L dance, and he started his esports team a year later. Really good from you, Michael Potts. Love that insight. Love that insight. Come on, Potsy and Harris. At 4 then, we've got Luis Suarez from Atletico Madrid earning £575,000 a week. What is going on in Spain with these wages? That's £200,000 a week more than the highest Premier League earner. It's laughable, man. It is laughable. And I understand that Luis Suarez led Atletico Madrid brilliantly to a La Liga title, over 20 La Liga goals last season, a hugely influential figure in that Diego Simeone system, a huge mistake by Barcelona to let him go to Atletico Madrid. And because he was a free transfer, I'm sure he was able to ask for significantly more in wages than Atletico Madrid wanted to pay. But £575,000 per week for a 34-year-old. How long's the contract? How long is that contract? The contract was only 2 years. So at least it was only 2 years. Not like they locked him in for 4 or 5, which I had suspicions they might well have ended up doing. But Luis Suarez, again, not worth £575,000 a week. Half that. I'm sure Atletico Madrid fans are coming for my throat right now, but what are they doing in Spain, paying these monies? And then we wonder why La Liga's in such a financial black hole. Well, because everybody's on bloody double what they're on in the Prem. It's crazy. Okay, at 3, we've got Neymar. I thought Neymar might be a little bit higher. Obviously, we've now leaked who's going to be 2 and 1. You know it's going to be Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. But £606,000 a week, man. It's so much money. It is so much money. But he had signed that new contract extension till 2025, right? My issue with Neymar being on £606,000 a week is I think he is probably, after Messi, the next most naturally talented footballer in the world. But he's incredibly inconsistent. I think he's put up over 20 Ligue 1 starts once since he went to PSG. His injury problems have just gotten worse and worse, and he's missed crucial moments within the season. So I don't think he's worth £606,000 a week. I think if you could get him to play 40 games a season and, you know, like Bruno Fernandes, for instance, never be injured, then he would be worth £600,000 a week because he is so special. But the injury problems are a huge issue. And I understand off the field commercially in South America with Nike. I think he's actually moved from Nike now. Where is he? New Balance? Puma? Somewhere like that. Either way, he brings in massive amounts of revenue to the club because he is such a superstar. But I just feel like he's too inconsistent for £606,000 a week. I think I would have him on 450. If KDB's on 385, I'd have him about 450. Just plucking numbers now. At 2, we've got Cristiano Ronaldo, obviously. That can't be right. I refuse to believe the Radio Times report. I refuse to believe it. You're telling me Ronaldo's on £900,000 a week at Juve? I just don't believe that. What's that in euros then? So you're telling me he's earning over €1 million a week? I just refuse to believe that. I'm sorry. That doesn't make sense. I'm questioning the Radio Times. TV Choice wouldn't have this. TV Choice would have him closer to 700, I think. If that. I'm doing my own research here. Because I'm questioning you, boys. I'm questioning you, Alex Harris and Michael Potts. They have got it down as £900,000 on Forbes. So I guess now I have to trust Potsy and Harris. Okay, he's not worth £900,000. Let's not fuck about either. Obviously, he did take home, I think, the Serie A top goal scorer of the year award last year. He has been incredibly influential, but he was brought in to win Juventus the Champions League. They had to win the Champions League to make his signing a success, and they haven't won the Champions League. That's what it boils down to, I'm afraid. They were winning Serie A titles without Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think he's added enough to warrant £900,000 a week, and it's probably set them back a few seasons in the transfer market as well, not being able to recruit younger talents. £900,000 a week's a joke. It's a f***ing joke. People think he's going to come to United after being paid £900,000 a week at Juve. No shot. No shot. I don't know where he goes when his contract's up at Juve next summer. Because who's paying him close to £900,000 a week? Seriously? Do PSG think that's even a viable option when Mbappe goes to Madrid? To then offer him £700,000 or ridiculous fees for a 36-year-old, however talented he is. Not worth it. Obviously, that means number 1 is going to be Lionel Messi, right? Yep, Lionel Messi, £960,000 a week again. I'm sure already was on much less than that. Much less than that. Messi has now signed a deal worth £25 million per year base salary after tax. That works out approximately £50 million before tax. An extra £25 million is added to his pot from endorsements and sponsorships with the likes of Adidas and Pepsi. Yeah, but I'm sure that so are Neymar's, and we just saw his boot deal, and Ronaldo will have his own ones like that with Nike. But £960,000 a week PSG are paying him. Is he worth that? I mean, nobody's worth that, are they? No human is worth £960,000 a week. But if any footballer in history would be, I guess it is Lionel Messi. Still, was it 39 goal involvements last season? But he has to win PSG the Champions League. I just said Ronaldo has been a failure at Juve because he hasn't done it. Messi, if he goes to PSG and they don't win the Champions League, that's a failure from the club. More so than from Messi, but from the club paying him 960 grand a week when I know they didn't win it last year, like Juve didn't win it last year, but have consistently won Ligue 1 titles without Lionel Messi's 960 grand a week salary. So again, I don't think it's worth it unless he wins them the Champions League. If he wins them the Champions League, fuck it. Why did I say that? Fuck it. But yeah, overall, I'm unconvinced he's worth it. So I'm saying Messi's not worth it, Ronaldo's not worth it, Neymar's not worth it, Suarez isn't worth it, Griezmann isn't worth it, Bale isn't worth it, Mbappe is worth it, so we've got 1 positive. KDB is worth it, 2 positives. David De Gea, not worth it. Lewandowski, yeah, worth it. 3 positives in there. 3 positives out of 10 top 10 earners, in my opinion, are worth the wage they're being paid. That's a shock. You know, shout out to Harris and to Potsy Boy, though. And shout out to the Radio Times, because you'll never be the TV choice and you f***ing know it. Alright, so that was my reaction, blind reaction anyway, to the Radio Times list of the 10 highest paid footballers in the world for 2021. If you want me to do more reaction videos, let me know in the comments below. Like I said as well in the comments below, I will be picking one of them to discuss on Sunday Vibes at the end of the show. If you did enjoy it as well, hit the like button. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. We'll see you later. Bye.